Oosh! Ninjas, welcome back. I am Joey Moss with Bad Boy Gaming, and ninjas, I do mean ninjas. We got a lot of ninjas to talk about in Modern Horizons. Ninjas are looking pretty powerful too, and their sweet little ability, that ninjutsu, is looking pretty sharp. We're going to get to them in just a second, but man, I think we go over at least 6 or 7 new ninjas today. Pretty awesome. It's about 30 cards, spoilers. I'll try to go through the comments a little quicker, but let's just jump into things, as any other YouTuber would say. Rot Widow pack is a 4-drop creature spider with reach. For 5 exile a creature, card from your graveyard, create a 1/2 green spider creature token with reach. Then each opponent loses 1 life for each spider you control. If you can get these spiders out of control, man, yeah, you're going to deal a lot of damage to your opponent. And the fact that you can do this, like, every turn, once you at least have 5 mana accessible, that can get pretty ridiculous. I mean, find a way maybe to protect your spiders a little bit. I mean, we are running black and green, so it could be a bit tricky, but I mean, there are things like hexproof and whatnot floating about. So think about that. I think this whole Rot Widow pack is not a terrible card. Of course, it's really slow for Modern, tough to be competitive, but definitely a fun tabletop card. Phantom Ninja and Ninja of the New Moon. I want all these ninjas in foils, just so you know. I'm getting them all in foil. It's happening. Phantom Ninja's a 3-drop. Both are commons. Phantom Ninja can't be blocked. It's a deuce. Pretty basic, pretty simple. Ninja Tribal, baby. Watch out. Ninja of the New Moon. This one's pretty sweet. It's a 5-drop. Yeah, it's steep, I know. Ninjutsu is for 4. Return an unblocked attacker you control to hand. Put this card onto the battlefield from your hand, tapped and attacking. It's a 6/3. Man, watch out for them ninjas, man. I love it. The knight is the greatest ally of all. I like the ninja, the ninjutsu mechanic, all that stuff. I mean, they just strike out of nowhere, you know, and just deal some damage. Let's get away from ninjas for a second. Go to Echo of Eons. This card's already topping at $43.89 on TCG Player. Get your copies while they're hot. No, they're probably going to stay around this price, 43. Then again, don't quote me on that. It's hard to say with these cards. I mean, Urza started out at $40, and he's jumped up to 80. Now he's floating around 60 to 70, so it's really tough to say. But right now this card is hot. Don't get them while they're hot. Hold off. Let the market chill a little bit, you know. It is a mythic, Echo of Eons. Would go great with Narset, Parter of Veils. This card, Narset's already at like almost $3, $3.50 almost. It's ridiculous, man. What Echo does is each player shuffles their hand and graveyard into their library, then draws 7 cards. And it has flashback, which for those of you a little newer, you may cast this card from your graveyard for its flashback cost and exile it, okay? So basically you can get 2 uses out of Echo of Eons. Pretty cool. But what Narset over here does, each opponent can't draw more than 1 card each turn. So you're locking your opponent out of 6 cards. You're locking them out. That's amazing. They only get to draw just 1 friggin' card. And you can't draw more than 1 each turn. So, I mean, well, it's a sorcery, Echo of Eons. If it was an instant, you could have maybe tricked it a little bit more. But nonetheless, very powerful card over here on the left. Echo of Eons is definitely going to see some play, man, in those control builds. And it's going to get a little out of control. Narset to complement it quite well. Moonblade Shinobi and Throat Seeker. Man, the ninjas, man, they don't stop with this, man. On the left here, we have Ninjutsu for 3. Whenever Moonblade Shinobi deals combat damage to a player, create a 1/1 blue illusion creature token with flying. Not bad. Now this is a common. Throat Seeker is an uncommon for 3. Unblocked attacking ninjas you control have lifelink. So just think about that quick little ninjutsu. Bam! You know, smack him in the mouth. Didn't see that ninja style coming at you, did you, boy? And then he gains lifelink, you know? I mean, not this card in particular. Well, if he's unblocked, he does. But just think about that. Really cool how they're playing out all these little ninjas. I got to make a ninja deck, I'm telling you. Arthas Rager. That's right. First appeared back in Invasion as rare mythic in dual decks for Exia Coalition, and then rare again in Commander 2015. First time it's ever appeared in Uncommon. Pretty interesting fact. For 3, it's got a kicker of 9, which is ridiculous, but the spell can't be countered. That's pretty cool. Urza's Rage deals 3 damage to any target. If the spell was kicked, instead it deals 10 damage to that permanent or player, and the damage can't be prevented, making it extremely powerful. There are ways to reduce kicker costs, but not a whole lot, I mean, really out there. That's why Urza's Rage, I think, never really made it anywhere, and Wizards got a little hip, and they reduced this card from its mythic, its rare, all the way down to an uncommon, which is probably where it should be. Reap the Past. For 3, well, not for 3, X and then Gruul colors. Return X cards at random from your graveyard to your hand. Exile, reap the past. Although, I mean, I think that's a very powerful ability, no doubt about it. I just think it would have been a lot better if, like, we were going the blue-black route. I think blue and black would benefit from this a lot more than the red-green. So, I mean, being that it's in those colors, I don't know how much play this is going to see. It's a cool card. It's going to see some play, but really, man, black and blue, that would have been a way to abuse this card more so. But, I mean, I guess they had to give it to red and green here. Cool card. We'll see what happens with it. Universal Automaton. I got to throw it up there again, man. It's an artifact creature shapeshifter. It's sweet that it's an artifact for one. A lot of people like this, but it's got the Changeling, man. This card is every creature type. Every creature type. So you want it to be a human, it's a human. You want it to be a ninja, it's a ninja. It don't matter what, okay? But the cool thing, I got to throw it out there, Liliana's Contract, man. Its second ability here, at the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 4 or more demons with different names, you win the game. You get one of these cards out there, Universal Automaton, and then the other like low 2-3 drop cards that are the Changeling-a-dangs, and you throw them into a deck. Really cool. You're going to be able to get to Liliana's Contract's ability and just win the game. I'm not saying it's going to be the easiest thing to pull off because there are things called removal. But, I mean, find a way to protect your cards, maybe some counter spells, interaction, and whatnot. Who knows what? Maybe a blue-black deck running some crazy stuff with some cheap shapeshifters to get out there and act as demons. You could take away a game. Pretty cool. Mist Syndicate Naga. Now, this Naga is my ninja, and that's all I'm trying to tell you guys. No one ever wants to listen to me. It's a 3-drop. I think Wizards is hilarious for doing that. Creature, Naga Ninja. Ninjutsu for 3. For 3, return, we already went over Ninjutsu. Whenever Mist Syndicate Naga deals combat damage to a player, create a token that's a copy of Mist Syndicate Naga. That can be a lot of fun. Again, more little combat tricks. You get a bunch of these pesky little 3/1s running around while you're doing some other little tricks in the background with your ninjutsu stuff and all your craziness, man. Things can get out of control rather quickly, guys. I'm just throwing it out there. I think it's a pretty cool card. Mind Rake and Defile. Target player discards 2 cards with the Overload for 2. They bring you back Overload, which is you may cast this spell for its Overload cost. If you do, change its text by replacing all instances of target with each. So basically, each player discards 2 cards. If you're a guy that's trying to dump a bunch of stuff into your graveyard and use and abuse it from there, that would be great because you're also putting your opponent at a disadvantage with a card like this. You're making them discard 2 cards, especially if their card doesn't interact with a graveyard. Just something to throw out there. Defile, another pretty neat card. 1-drop, target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn for each swamp you control. Pretty powerful removal in common. Not bad. Ephemerate. Am I saying that right? Ephemerate? I think I am. Exile target creature you control, then return it to the battlefield on its owner's control. Nice little bounce ability there. A great way to protect, anything, really. You just want to, or even maybe, any cards that have those enter the battlefield triggers. This would be a great card to throw in a deck like that. And it's got the rebound. So if you cast a spell from your hand, exile as it resolves at the beginning of your next upkeep, you may cast this card from exile without paying its mana cost. So you can do it twice. Boom, pretty neat. Answered Prayers is a 3-drop. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. It's an enchantment. If Answered Prayers isn't a creature, it becomes a 3/3 angel creature with flying in addition to its other types until end of turn. Kind of nifty. Not bad for being just a common. Answered Prayers is pretty cool. I like it. Wall of Blossom. This sweetheart first appeared in Stronghold and has 8 reprints since, including Modern Horizons. This is the 8th time it's been reprinted. Quite crazy. Deduce, drop, plant wall on common defender. When Wall of Blossom enters the battlefield, draw a card. It's a 0/4. Enough said on the card. It's back again. Soul Herder. Look at the artwork on that thing, man. Look at the art. This thing's stupid funny. It's a 3-drop. Whenever a creature is exiled from the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on Soul Herder. So think about any of the cards that we just mentioned. Well, one of the cards earlier. The 1-drop that exiles a creature, and then it's got the rebound. This thing can easily become, well, I guess not if you're you'd have to exile something else. You couldn't exile this because the counters would bounce off of it. I'm pretty sure once it hits exile, counters get removed. But nonetheless, I mean, you bounce some other stuff if that's the route you wanted to go. Yeah, there you go. Whenever a creature is exiled from the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on Soul Herder. At the beginning of your end step, you may exile another target creature you control and return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. So this thing can easily get out of control rather quickly if you're running a bunch of those bounce or exile kind of abilities, in a deck. Not bad, very interesting. Meriden Besieged. I thought this was kind of funny. It's a 3-drop enchantment. As Meriden Besieged enters the battlefield, Meriden, choose Moran or Phyrexian. Moran, whenever you cast an artifact spell, create a 1/1 colorless mirror artifact creature token. Phyrexian, at the beginning of your end step, draw a card, then discard a card. Then, if there are 15 or more artifact cards in your graveyard, target opponent loses the game. Basically, just try to get as many cheap artifact cards as you can out onto the battlefield as quickly as possible. There's a bunch of ones that are 0-drop and 1-drops that are out there, You can easily get a whole ton of them out. But you're going to need some card draw as well. But I could see you winning. I could see it possible to get 15 artifacts out by like turn 4. I'm sure it's possible, with the right draw mechanics in the deck. Maybe even turn 3 if you're, that may be pushing it. But you got Shatter Storm over here, which is a 4-drop. Destroy all artifacts that can't be regenerated. So you just destroy all your own artifacts, and they're all in the graveyard, end up winning the game. It's just something I'm throwing out there, and it's in the right kind of colors for a deck like this where you want to get artifacts into the graveyard anyway if you're trying to dump stuff. Just something I'm throwing out there. It's a funny little whatever. Cordial Vampire is a deuce dropper. Whenever Cordial Vampire or another creature dies, put a +1/+1 counter on each vampire you control. Please come in. What diavals are on the table? Someone read French. I'm sure that means something pretty gross. But this thing can get out of control quickly as well. Whenever Cordial Vampire or another creature dies, they have to word it that way for a reason. They can't just put whenever a creature dies. Because there's certain different cards that can interact with this weirdly. It is what it is, man. There's like 15,000 Magic cards. You got to word things carefully when you're Wizards. Put a +1/+1 counter on each vampire you control. This thing is hungry for blood, man, and he's gonna get it. I think this is gonna see some. I know it's gonna see some play, and it's gonna be a very fun card to use and abuse. I could see myself wanting to make a deck with this. It seems like it could be a lot of fun. Lattimore Tribe is a 3-drop elf druid. So turn 1, you go ahead and drop your Lattimore Elves. Turn 2, you go ahead and drop your Lattimore Tribe. Turn 3, you basically can just cast whatever the heck you want. That's a lot of mana. Enough said. Holgak, Arisen, Necropolis. It's a 7-drop, but this is the first time Wizards has done something like this. This is what I'm talking about. This is a newbie, a new one here. And I don't believe it's been done before. You can't spend mana to cast this spell. Now, I think there's been cards that have said that before, but with all these abilities on it, I don't think it's been done. It has Convoke, so that means each creature you tap while casting the spell pays for 1 mana of that creature's color. And it also has Delve. Each card you exile from your graveyard pays for 1. You may cast Holgak, Arisen, Necropolis from your graveyard. It has Trample. It's an 8/8. This thing can probably come out as early as turn 3. In the right synergy with the right build when you're using Delve and Convoke combined. This thing can you can have a serious threat on the board turn 3. Not saying it's going to stick, but man, that's pretty scary to think about. Meriden Slumber. This is basically Dark Depths replacement since it was banned. I'm just throwing that out there. It's a 2-drop legendary snow enchantment. Whenever Meriden Slumber or another snow permanent enters the battlefield under your control, scry 1. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 10 or more snow permanents, sacrifice Lags. Am I saying that right? Lodges. Slumber. If you do, create Merit Log, a legendary 2020 black avatar creature token with flying and indestructible. This is basically the answer to Dark Depths, which has been printed quite a few times, first appearing in the second Ice Age kind of set. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, though. But what Dark Depths does, and there's a crazy combo with it with Solemnity, Dark Depths enters the battlefield with 10 ice counters on it. For 3, remove an ice counter from Dark Depths. But when Dark Depths has no ice counters on it, sacrifice it. If you do, create Marat Lag's a legendary 2020 black avatar creature token with flying and indestructible. Pretty nuts. The only way to get rid of that thing would be to exile it. But then you have something like Solemnity over here, which cheats the Dark Depths, the black avatar into play, basically. Players can't get counters. Counters can't be put on artifacts, creatures, enchantments, or lands. This would be a land. So it would just instantly hit the field as a 2020. That's why they banned Dark Depths. That's why they made the Slumber on the left here. I hope you guys can understand that. Pretty redunculous. Thornado is a 3-drop. Destroy target creature with flying. It has cycling for 2. So discard this card and then draw a card. Then we have Carrion Feeder and Tribute Mage. Carrion Feeder can't block. Sacrifice a creature, put a +1/+1 counter on Carrion Feeder. I guess in the right kind of deck where you want to sacrifice a lot of creatures, at least you have one big creature that's able to be in the background blocking. This thing just gets bigger and bigger every time you sack. Tribute Mage, pretty cool. There's been other kind of mages similar. It's a 3-drop. When Tribute Mage enters the battlefield, you may search your library for an artifact card with converted mana cost 2, reveal that card, put it into your hand, and then shuffle your library. Of course, there's cards out there that are artifacts people are going to want to dig up, and this is a great way to tutor one of them up. Unsettled Mariner. This thing's confused. I'm just saying. It's a hate bear that's a bear. But I think it has like some kind of weird identity crisis or just hates on its own kind. I know, it's whatever. But it is a Changeling. I like that, the Changeling. Like a Changang, but the Changeling. It's a deuce drop. This card is every creature type. Whenever you or a permanent you control becomes a target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, counter that spell or ability unless its controller pays 1. The Call of the Sea shapes many souls. It is a deuce. I'm sorry I'm talking so quick during this one, but I'm already at 16, 17 minutes in, and we're not done yet. So, this is a long spoiler one. Geomancer's Gambit is a 3-drop sorcery. Destroy target land. Its controller may search their library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield, and shuffle their library, draw a card. Gotta watch out for these land destruction builds, man. It might be a thing. You never know. I know there are already decks out there, but we got a lot of new land destruction interaction kind of things with land in the graveyard and all types of wacky stuff. I don't know. We're going to see something new happen here maybe. Magmatic Sinkholes, a 6-drop with Delve. Again, each card you exile from your graveyard while casting this spell pays for 1. Magmatic Sinkhole deals 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker. Pretty neato. Then we got Fairy Seer and Croissant Tusker. 1-drop flyer. When Fairy Seer enters the battlefield, scry 2. It's a 1/1. That is huge. That card's going to see a heck ton of play, and it's only a common. Pauper, there you go. You got something amazing. Croissant Tusker is a 7-drop boar beast, cycling for 3. When you cycle Croissant Tusker, you may search your library for a basic land card, reveal that card, put it into your hand, and then shuffle your library. Not bad. It's pretty sweet. Could be a bomb in limited, I suppose. A 6/5. Not bad. Maybe not a bomb, but pretty big. Pretty fun. Watcher for Tomorrow. Previously, Hideaway only appeared on lands, guys. This card has Hideaway. What that is, this creature enters the battlefield tapped. When it does, look at the top 4 cards of your library, exile 1 face down, then put the rest on the bottom of your library. When Watcher for Tomorrow leaves the battlefield, put the exiled cards into its owner's hand. It's a deuce 1. Pretty cool and pretty powerful. I think this thing's already at like $3 or $2. Pretty interesting. Everdream and Smiting Helix to close out the video. For deuce, draw a card. Splice onto instant or sorcery for 3. What that means, as you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you may reveal this card from your hand and pay its splice cost. If you do, add this card's effect to that spell. Pretty nuts, because you could just continuously do that. You're not exiling this card. It still remains in your hand. You're just drawing more cards for an extra 3 mana. You're paying 3 basically to draw a card. I guess that's kind of steep, but you still get to hold a card in your hand. It is what it is. Then you got Smiting Helix over here, but you have to cancel an instant or sorcery, of course. Smiting Helix is a 4-drop. I like this one. Smiting Helix deals 3 damage to any target, and you gain 3 life. And the sweet thing is there's a spider falling right from my face right now. Gotcha. He's tiny, though. You couldn't even see him. Smiting Helix deals 3 damage to any target, and you gain 3 life. Flashback for deuce, 1 red, Boros colors, basically. You may cast this card from your graveyard for its flashback cost, then exile it. Not bad. Not bad at all. It is uncommon. I could see it seeing a little bit of play. These are the spoilers from today, guys. I'm going to start doing some arena gameplay again. I'm going to get back onto twitching. I've been away for quite some time. I just kind of needed a breather, but I'm going to be back into building decks. You'll see over the next week for sure. Stay tuned for all of that. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you hit the like button, thumbs up. Thank you to everyone who watches. Thank you to all the patrons. Thank you to everyone that makes this channel possible. Without you guys, I ain't nothing, man. Skadoosh.